We'll click this button and say, yo, what up? How's it going, man?
It's going pretty good. You?
I'm well. I'm very, very well. Stain. This is the same Stain that you played on stream, correct?
Yes, sir. This is a little different rendition
Okay.
Of it. It's So the idea is that it's as the name suggests, a burn ya. It has a bunch of effects that just necessarily like burn you. Like you got the full-on attack mode. You have keen observation. Your character burns them, and then you have like knife slice. I ended up only playing one of in the first place, but I ended up upping to 2 just because I wasn't happy with like a lot of the other attacks. And then I ended up switching out for I think I switched out, what card was it? Slashing Whirlwind for Tongue Whip, just because it's just a better card. Like I wasn't ever happy with Slashing Whirlwind.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's like good like fill up like give a speed to everything, right? And then with the new Endeavor package, you get to play more foundations that draw you extra cards. So I was pretty happy with like trying out Evil for that reason. And for that same thing, I put in Pox Full of Babies to kind of like filter and help out with a little bit of more speed. Just so a lot of these burn effects can continue burning them faster, right? Like Laceration is guaranteed like 3 burn. Piercing Needle can be guaranteed burn, but not as much as like Laceration. And then outside of that, it's just like a value bunch of like evil stuff, right?
Right. So then, what is the goal? What are you looking from me?
From you, I'm looking to try out or see if maybe the foundations could be changed up. I think while I was like going through this, I kept on like switching back and forth. Should this be a little more defensive? Should this be a little more aggressive? I just couldn't figure out which way I wanted to go. So I kept it like this, where it's a little more aggressive. But I definitely think it could be changed up.
Okay.
I did get the block zones perfect, so there's that.
Okay, all right. That's good. I can respect that. I can dig it.
Yeah, and also if like we can bring that number down a little bit, down to 60, just for a good round number, I guess that would be great too.
Sure. I'll see what I can do. I'm just doing some more looking.
Sounds good.
Bit of looking. You're trying to play a dropkick slicer, or what up?
I do love that card, but it's not worth the 1 check, Tam.
What are you trying to dropkick slicer? Or?
It is a burn. It does the thing I want. It burns them, right?
What's up with that?
I don't know about that one, man.
I guess that's fine. This card's really interesting in Stain. I'm just pulling out the interesting ones.
Sounds
Pulling out
good.
the neat ones. This card's surprisingly good. Crazy we're playing an evil deck without this.
Oh, it's a creepy realization.
Yep.
I kept on going back and forth and trying to figure out if I wanted to play that card, but I just...
Top 5 foundations in the game. We're not playing that one. That's neat.
Is it also Sticky Balls? I ended up cutting that one.
This one's cool. All right. We got some stuff. We got some things. Okay.
Alrighty.
First off, you have a choice. You can either change the name of your deck or put 4 copies of this card in your deck. There's your choice there. Conflict of Ideologies is everything that Stain wants. Actually, everything. He says that it is harder for my opponent to play cards. He says that I burn them after they do not block my move. This card is nuts. It says Fury. How many Furies we have? Maybe that's our issue. Cringe.
Yeah, a lot of the weapons aren't also Furies, unfortunately.
Abysmal. That type response is still correct though. To the point where like I would actually look at like changing up as much of this as I could. I guess like this card doesn't have Fury, and this card doesn't have Fury, and these are like the main points of your deck, right?
Yeah,
But like everything else could like
burn.
change. Everything else could change, in my opinion, to like try and make this thing happen. Conflict of Ideologies is just so cracked in the early game. It's so cracked, man. Being able to play anything with stun 2, right? Anything at all. You just stun 2 them, and then you Conflict of Ideologies, the 2 things that they stunned. They just don't have 2 resources on their turn. It's so cracked. Okay, I'll get off my high horse. Nothing to see here. I think this card is insane in your deck. Like borderline not fair. It turns every move into Merciless Rush, right?
Okay.
The ones that matter at least. It says if they block this one, they destroy a foundation. If they block this one, they destroy a foundation. If they block this one, they destroy a foundation. If they block this one, they destroy a foundation.
Okay.
Right? It's like
I like that.
As well as if you don't use that, when you do hit them with your laceration, because you're going to, because it still deals 1, you now just have -3 speed on every move that you want, right?
Yeah.
That's not a commit clause. That's just like, yo, I have to do the thing, or like let's pretend that, like I don't have a chance, or let's pretend that I do use the piercing needle, right? How do I get this out of my momentum? Oh, it's easy. I just give your thing -3 speed and then I block it.
Okay.
This card in combination with Knife Slice is the most fucked up thing you can do to somebody. I'll play Knife Slice. I'll end the enhanced step. Catch 505. Okay. And then the first enhance, your move gets +2 speed. It's just like, this is good. It's just super good. It says +3 speed across all of Stain, which feels great. Now for the things like you just didn't have: Survivor the Final Advice for winners, Dissolve the Conflict. Stronger Darkness is the card that I said this is interesting in Stain because you like respond on your turn and then you give everything stats. I thought it was just neat. Introductions says your first villain gets big, creepy, desperate, sticky balls. Apathetic is like top 5 cards in the game in set 2 at least. So the fact that we're not playing any copies of Apathetic is like crazy to me. Flipping my Apathetic to flip your Excited for Blood, to flip your Quick to Act, to flip your Coping is just like great. It's like really good. So like think about how impactful your foundations are, and Apathetic just like turns them off. It's one of the best control pieces in the game. And like the evil symbol gets it, and it's part of the reason we want to play the evil symbol at all, right? In set 2, the reason to play the evil symbol at all is Apathetic plus Blood Curdle. Those are the only 2 reasons, and we're just leaving half of that on the table.
Okay.
The last one's first villain encounter. It says my ranges get a little easier to play, so that's ranged. That's ranged. Any of these other bad cards ranged? No, but it does just give +1 to +1 to anything. And it's got like a gnarly deadlock, and the way that you beat Stain is you just like you build the 15 and not care about the -3, and so this card just says that when they're in deadlock, you just win the game, right? Or you do your best impression of that.
Gotcha.
All things to consider, right?
Yeah, 100%.
From there, how do you feel about Blood Curdle in your 6-hand size do nothing character?
I have liked it against the characters that I did play against, but outside of that, like, it's been kind of medium.
This is the sickest one of all time, and you side your other ones.
I agree. I do like it as a one of at least.
Yeah, I think one of is fine. I think playing more than that is a mistake, sadly.
Okay.
Yeah. Coping with number 1. 4 of this one.
I wanted to see it more in the testing, so I tried to up the number as much as I can, just to see how I like this card, because I like the card. Like any foundation that just says commit draw card, it immediately like says something to me, like, wow, this card's very good.
Yeah.
And the idea is that Satan has 29 health, like he can afford to take the hit and just draw a card on your opponent's turn.
For sure.
But like passing the torch and what's another or no, like I'll compare it to Passion and Torch, where people just play 3 of it.
Yeah.
That's probably where it should be. It should probably be a 3 of.
That's where I'm at. It's either 3 or 2 because, like, the thing about passing is you're allowed to play it on a poke. You're not allowed to play this on a poke.
Mm-hmm.
You have to play this on the second attack, minimum.
Yep.
And so, like, that makes it just strictly worse than passing. Strictly. And then
100%.
On defense, you have to play it not on their poke. You have to play it on their second attack.
Yeah.
And so, like, to the point where, like, I want to drop it down to a 2 of, and I think that you'll feel fine about it. And I think things like Influence in the Youth, Nothing to See Here, truthfully, Conflict of Ideologies, that response is just better than, can be better than Coping.
Okay.
Right? At the same time, our goal is to cut this number a little bit, right? And we've now successfully done that to 61. I think Nothing to See Here is going to be rampant. I could easily see this card. This is a unique foundation that I am down to play 4 of. I want to play these symbols exclusively because of this card. I think that, like, Death, Evil... This is Chaos, right? Yeah, okay. Death and Evil are going to get so much off of Nothing to See and Conflict of Ideologies. It's going to be cracked, man.
Okay.
Let me paint you a picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
I play, like, Turn to Dust, and I commit Nothing to See Here. I stun your 2 foundations, and I say, if you block this, you're going to destroy any foundation you want. Your choice, right? But I'll destroy one every single turn. If you don't block this, you'll take the 5, and then those 2 cards that you stunned, you don't get to play them next turn. And all I did was commit 3 of my resources, and I've kept everything. Like, and then it'll get back to my turn. Your cards will still be stunned, right? Because they're frozen. And I'll ready everything back up, and I'll play that same line again. Whew.
That is pretty sick. Yeah.
Like this in conjunction with each other, very, very strong.
Okay.
But not everything in your deck is this, like, Fury or mid, right? But a lot of it is. Fury, mid,
like almost a little.
Mid.
Yeah, over half of the attacks
6
is
cards are not. Like, this card easily gets to be a 2 of.
I agree. I like it. I'm down for it.
Trying to think. Man, I guess we're playing a burn deck, so Excited for Blood feels really good, huh?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I didn't even think about an Invincible class whenever I was looking through here.
Yeah, class is pretty good, but I don't know if we can afford the high block, right? Like, maybe if, like, we weren't playing Igniting Arrow. It's just like under the evil symbol, it forces us to say, it forces us to have the throw out, as opposed to they have to block it or we grab another move. This just, like, does the damage, and then our character's live.
Yeah.
Right? Or, like, Invincible Clasp into Laceration says that they better have had it twice. Whereas Igniting Arrow, they're just allowed to block it. But they're
allowed to block it. Mm-hmm.
It's a weapon, whereas Clasp isn't. Like, it's a toss-up.
I like the idea of Ignited Arrow because, like, if they do block it, you get to draw a card, and then play that same card, or they just take 5, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's look at our difficulty for foundations. So much spam. Much spam.
When my first rendition of the deck had a billion zeros, and I just, like, I can't play that many.
Can I convince you to come down on the zooms and play, like, at least double apathetic?
Yeah,
it'll make your blocks a little off kilter, but, like, this card's not doing anything for you.
Yeah, screw that card. Get it out of here.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna put apathetic at a 2 of, but your homework is to find us slots for 4 of it, without increasing the number, I guess, if that's something you care about. Yeah, 19, 19, 25. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all. I did have advice for winners in there in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I just came to the conclusion, like, I play a billion 4s. Like, if I check a 3, it's never really that bad. It's not like Jiro, like good Jiro, where she has to check good.
Right.
And she's staff strike on an 8. Like you're forced to check a 5 there, or your like turn's basically over.
How do you feel about press conference?
I put it in there specifically for Blood Moon Rending, and it also helped me round out my my high blocks.
Mm-hmm.
But it's been fine.
Okay. I want to cut it for the last 2 apathetics. I think this card is not needed whenever you're playing a bunch of 4 diffs, right? Like you're playing all 4s. This card is sick when we're playing heavy 5 diffs and then 6 diffs, right?
Okay.
Like we saw the Sato list earlier that was playing 4 Prominence Burn, 4 Howitzer Impact Cyclone. That's where press conference comes in handy. Like turning, like, hey, my laceration's a 3 diff now. Ooh, watch out. Who really cares? Who actually cares? Right.
Okay.
Just being able to control their board, stop their wall clings, stop their damage reductions, stop their whatevers, stop their Excited for Bloods, right? Like if they have Excited for Blood, they get to draw whenever they burn. You want to draw a card, and then this card just says that they're not allowed to. I get to draw. You don't get to draw.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I like it.
And then we'll cut it there, and then we'll just increase this back up, and then that'll cut our number down by 1, and then keep our low blocks or high blocks where they were.
Sounds good.
I
think another reason I had that one in there was to make sure that I had enough 1 difficulty. I usually end up having a problem with these, I guess, off-meta symbols, I guess you could say, is that where they play a billion 2s and not enough 1s.
We're at 22 spams in our 36, so that's like more than half. I think it'll be fine. Not to mention Box Full of Babies is going to go filter and find some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I think this is a fine place to go. I think you're gonna see a huge improvement with nothing to see here. I think this card's gonna be meta defining.
You think it's that good?
Yeah. It says every attack that you want it to be gets to be Merciless Rush.
That's true.
Every attack is Merciless Rush. How annoying is Merciless Rush? Incredibly.
It's pretty annoying.
Incredibly.
It says I want a half block, really.
It says I want a half block, which then, like, you get turned on, right?
Zane does love to be turned on. Did you want to try to fit Creepy in?
Nah.
Or you just like it how this is right here?
I like how it is here. Like, the Creepy slot's for coping, right? Like, that's just, like, what I would change it for. So, like, I don't know entirely what I want out of it.
Gotcha.
So that it'll, like, increase the number. And if you're not digging nothing to see here, I demand you leave it at a 1 of. I demand you leave it at a 1 of.
I will leave it at a 1 of for you, Tim.
Yeah. But
I definitely want to keep.
I think that discard momentum for -3 speed is going to come in handy a lot. Like, a lot.
Yeah. It's not like the evil symbol's using his momentum a ton anyways, right? Like, I think you have Piercing Needle. Does Blood Moon Rending have any keyword? No.
Laceration? No.
I think it's just Piercing Needle.
Yeah. Which is why I also put in... Maybe I didn't. You can look at the Endeavor card. Discard momentum. -2 to their check. Failing it doesn't end their turn. It's like a baby version of your character for discarding momentum. I love that card personally. I think that card's going to be sweet too.
Is it a commit cost?
No. Once per turn, discard momentum, but it's a 2/4 high block, 3 high, I think.
Okay. What do you think about this deck on order? How do you feel about like a Electric Jolt Laceration deck?
I think that's neat. I think that's really, really neat. The issue is going to be finding weapon cards for Laceration.
Oh, it doesn't have to be a weapon; just has to be attack.
Laceration's bottom enhance.
Oh wait, bottom it. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Find a weapon, and then like Blood Moon Rending is probably how you kill people in that deck too. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I think the other thing you get to do with this deck, honestly, is you get to take and do this thing that you're trying to do here, but as Toga, and it probably is just going to work out better for you.
As a Toga burn plan?
Yeah.
Probably true.
So this is more I'm winning, and then Toga, you no longer have to like rely on like laceration. You no longer have to rely on all these other whatevers, and you still get to play Blood Moon Rending, and you can still get to give it a bonus speed if they block the previous one. You give it a speed, right? It still comes in for 5 mid for 7. Right.
That is sick. Okay.
Right. Like the thing about Stain is like anybody who wants to play Stain under the evil symbol should probably just play Toga. As much as that sucks to hear, it's just the truth.
I was told I couldn't play Morrigan, or I think that's how you say her, in Standard. And I was like, okay, I'll just play the toned down version in MHA.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what this character is for sure. Morgan's tight. Morgan's sweet.
Yep. All right,
buddy.
I do like how it looks.
I think we have a heading at least. I really want you to try out a Fury package and maybe be a little less in on the or you ready? Trade out Stain, make it Toga, try a Fury package, and just enjoy Conflict of Ideologies. Just enjoy it. Just revel in it. Just your opponent's gonna be at 6 health. No, your opponent's gonna be at 8 health. You're gonna have double conflict and a piercing needle, and you're gonna send a 2 damage move at them, and you're gonna look at them and be like, "Guess you gotta block it." You have to block everything now. Everything has to be blocked now.
That is sick. Okay, I'll start working on that as soon as I get off this.
Yeah. Enjoy it.
All right, I will.
All right, we'll catch you next time. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, sounds good.
Peace.
Peace.